What's going on, guys? Good evening to you. It's Friday night. It's not night. It's like 5:30ish. It's time of year. Grass is growing out there, and we're looking to fire up our machines to do some grass cutting. Right? Finally, the snow's gone. I wanted to go over some carburetor stuff with you. I know everybody's going to be in a tizzy. They're going to pull their lawnmowers out. They're going to fix their dead batteries, and they're going to try and run them. They're not going to run, so we're going to get into a little bit of simple things you can do to your carburetor to help the situation out. Say you can't afford to pay someone to fix it, you just want to try and do it yourself. Let's dig into some of the things we can look at. So come on over here. I'm going to point you down towards the bench, and we will get into a little carburetor talk. So basically right here I have a Kohler carburetor. It's off a single cylinder Kohler 17 horse. This is our carburetor. Once we get it off, this is what we're going to be looking at. The big thing that we want to look at in these carburetors is the fuel that's been sitting in the bowl all winter long. Okay, so you're going to want to take this bowl off. Now, you can have the screw-in type with the electronic solenoid that shuts the gas off for safety reasons, which most of them have nowadays. You can have this type, or you can have the screw-on type, where this one has 4 bolts in it. And those screws, you just unscrew them with a screwdriver. So, for the sake of easiness, let's just unscrew this one. Okay, and this is going to take our solenoid out with our little plunger on the end right here, and then we're going to pull our bowl out. Be careful, there might be some gas in here, so if you don't want to spill it on you and smell all nasty, then be careful. So you're going to pull this bowl off, and I guarantee you're going to find some junk in here. You're going to find some like jelly looking stuff or some dirt or something. You're going to want to clean this out with some brake cleaner or some carburetor cleaner. If you don't have that, you can use soap and water, but you're going to have to scrub it with your finger and get it nice and clean in there. All right. The next step, when you get into that, this is your float. This is what turns the gas on and off inside the carburetor. So there's a little pin here, and you can see this pin on this hinge. If you pull this pin out, which I can't do without pliers because I got giant meaty fingers here for some reason. Pull this pin out right here. Don't lose the pin. You could take this float right out. Okay. When you take the float out, there's going to be something on the end of it, and it's going to fall off, so don't lose it. This is going to be your needle. Okay. This is what opens and closes the fuel passage to let the gas in the carburetor. All right. This is your float. This floats in gasoline. So when the bowl is empty, this bowl right here, when this is empty, the float is hanging down and it's letting this needle let fuel in. When the bowl fills up, it floats up, and then it turns the gas off. That's all that does. What you want to look for is all your ports and passages in your carburetor. You have where the needle goes. Okay, that's letting the gas in and out. You want to make sure that's clear. Through it, gas comes in here and it's going to come out here. Okay, your main jet is going to be in here. This has to be clean. All these passages in here have to be cleaned out. All carburetors vary in sizes and shape and everything else, but any place you see a little jet or a port has to be blown out, okay? Because that jelly, it sets up in there, and inside this carburetor is very, very small orifices, and any kind of schmegma, or whatever you want to call it, will plug up these passages, and it won't run. That's why your engine won't run. So all these little passages you see here, okay? You want to spray some carburetor cleaner in there. Just look around, make sure you're wearing safety glasses so you don't squirt yourself in the face. But any place you see a port, you go ahead and clean it out. Just spray it all out. Clean this thing right up. Clean your bowl up. Clean your float up. Okay, your little needle and seat and your float assembly. Don't grind on it too much, because it's a type of rubber on the end of that, and you don't want to wreck that. But just make sure everything's clean in here. Don't be afraid to take it apart. Just pay attention to when you take it apart. You can always put it back together and go from there. If you do happen to put this back together and it's leaking gas, say your gas is pouring out of here, it's because of your needle and seat and your float. Back in the old days, these floats weren't plastic. They were tin. They were made of like a tin metal. And they would get holes in them and they would fill up with gas. Once they fill up with gas, they'd always lay down. They wouldn't float up, and it would just let the gas keep flowing and flowing through the carburetor. Nowadays, they're pretty much plastic, so you don't have to worry about that. So chances are, if you're getting, if you put your carburetor back together and it's on your engine and you're getting gas running out here, you know, your main orifice here where the air comes in, where your choke door is, chances are this guy right here, the needle, is not seating in its seat, okay, which without the float, it's right there. That's where it's sitting. It's sitting right here, and it opens and closes to let fuel in and out. If you're getting gas that's running out of your carburetor, it's because this isn't seating. So either this needle is bad, or you didn't clean that out good enough and it's letting gas by. Okay, that's it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to it. I know there's a lot of carburetor experts out there that want to tell you, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. Some carburetors are intricate, but as far as your small engine carburetor, there's not a lot to it. Don't be afraid to take it apart. Clean it up as best you can. Get a good light so you can see in all the orifices and all the jets and stuff. And if you have an air compressor, go ahead and blow them out. Put some carburetor cleaner in there and then blow them out. Put it back together the way you took it apart and give it a try. That's last ditch effort video that I wanted to give to you on the carburetor, because like I said, now's the time of year when everybody's going to be saying, well, my stuff ain't running and gas is running everywhere, and those are basically the reasons why what is happening is happening. So before you call a major repair guy that's going to cost you a lot of money, just give that a shot, okay? Just wanted to put that out there because I know it's going to be an issue for a lot of people this time of year, and just trying to help you out. So have a good day. We'll see you later.